Hello gamers, it me again with a Terrier to Beagle video where we take, or I guess Larry the Jack Russell Terrier takes an adventure all the way from the bubble to Colonia to whatever you call it, Beagle Point. Forgot the name of the darn title of the video, man. Anyway, the gameplay is kind of, well, as anyone who has played exploration and I almost said Deep Rock Galactic, man. This is the state of my mind right now, man. But anyone who's done exploration in Elite Dangerous has experienced the kind of peaceful disassociation / monotonous gameplay loop of scoop, jump, scoop, jump, scoop, jump. And that's what you'll see today. This is about 2 hours of gameplay over 3 sessions. I think the first one was really short, and then the other two were like more 45 minutes an hour. My favorite part about this in real time was every jump, or every 5 jumps as I kind of tune back into reality, I could see the nebula, which is like my halfway point to Colonia, getting bigger, because I wanted to stop in this nebula and take some cool pictures and things like that. So anyway, I'll point it out when I see it. It's a lot more evident towards the latter half of the video when we really start to get there. But we discovered a lot of new systems. I had the ED Copilot, which if you play this game and you have voice attack, I mean, it's really... I would highly recommend it. I would highly recommend looking into it. That's just me as a casual Elite Dangerous player. It's very fun, and it brings a lot of utility and a lot of new life into the game, especially when you're several hundred hours in. Or jumping across the entire galaxy. Anyway. I don't know. I kind of just wanted to talk about. I published the D&D video yesterday, so that was nice. I'll probably record a little bit more, episode 4 of that pretty soon. The 4th character, God's willing, like I always say, we'll have a wizard. The D&D gods will bequeath us with a wizard. But anyway, that's neither here nor there, because we're talking about Elite Dangerous and we're talking about video journaling over jumping gameplay. But anyway, Elite, I've been transferring from Elite and Star Citizen for the last year or so. Over the last couple days, I returned to Star Citizen briefly because there's a whole event thing, and I like the events. And Star Citizen is just a love-hate relationship, and you can only take so much with Star Citizen. I always try and be grateful for what Star Citizen gives us, because it really is. I just pray that it'll still be around in 10 years, just better. I can't wait for what Star Citizen could be, but because it will so much surpass what Elite already is. But at the same time, Elite is so good at being Elite. It's easy to return to Elite and just have everything work. You don't have to worry about cargo getting lost. I logged into Star Citizen for the first time in a while. It auto wipes your character, and you got to remake it and reload your character, and all of my outfitting was gone, and I haven't played in a while, so it's not a huge deal, and it wasn't like I lost any ships, and it wasn't a full wipe, but it's just a pain. And they're constantly making effort, and I see the effort that they're making in Star Citizen, but at the same time, just basic functionality not working just kills you day after day, day in, day out, where it's oh, the route doesn't work, oh, the jumps don't work, oh, the combat is stuttery, oh, well, people are abusing the piracy roleplay to just sit outside stations that don't fight back, and there's no police, and it's just, I love the game to death, love it to death. I just wish it loved me like I love it. This is session 2, by the way. But yeah, Elite, it's a lot more of a streamlined kind of gaming experience, and it's cute. You know, it's like Star Citizen Light. You know, it's still like enough kind of I don't know. They're different games. They're both Space Sims, but they're very different games. I would just say that switching between the two in a healthy moderation, it's like Ben Franklin said, good old Ben Franklin, everything in moderation, right? Everything in moderation. So you have a little bit of Star Citizen here, you got a little bit of Elite Dangerous here, you got a little bit of all the other games that I've been playing this week. Because there was a big Steam sale for something, I can't even remember. But I got both of the truck simulators, Euro Truck Simulator 2 and American Truck Simulator. I've been playing Euro Truck Simulator 2 a lot with the Italy DLC. As you know, I went to Italy last year. Well, I hope you know if you're watching the videos. But I went to Italy last year, and I bought the Italy DLC to kind of just indulge myself in the nostalgia, because I find myself reminiscing of that wonderful trip a lot. Probably a lot more than I would like to admit. I haven't started American Truck Simulator. I live in Florida, and so I'm kind of waiting for the Florida DLC. I think there's like community mods and stuff, but I think it would be cool to like drive across the whole country to Florida and like base out of Florida and things like that. So for Euro Truck Simulator, I'm based in Genoa in Italy, and American Truck Simulator I will hopefully start when some more of those DLCs come out, and I'll just buy all the connecting states to go across the country, because I think that would be cool to have like an east to west coast road trip, if you will, like you know, I did as a kid or something, to visit family or whatever. But anyway, I've been playing that. I got Core Keeper. Core Keeper is cute. I haven't really gotten to dig into it. It really, every turn I take in Core Keeper, even just within the first couple hours, has been like, oh my goodness, there's so many new mechanics. What do I even do about it? I intentionally went into it without like watching gameplay. I just saw kind of the aesthetic. I saw the good reviews. I saw a few streamers like briefly play it, and kind of just like, you know, over the years, even not even recently, just seeing them do clips and things of it, and I'm like, that looks cute, let's do that. And actually today it just got a brand new update. It's called like Volts and something, like a robot boss as far as I think. But yeah, Core Keeper's cute. I got Everspace 2, another space sim, if you can call it that. It's more like a space looter shooter. It's like Borderlands in space, Diablo in space, whatever you want to call it. But that's cute. I also played like a couple hours of that. So far, I'm enjoying that when I need to get my loot on. I put it on an easier difficulty because, as you know, I think I talked about how I historically only played on hardest difficulty, and I've been trying to reform in that regard, where it's just like, I don't need to be stressed playing Elden Ring, Millennia, every single game I play. I just need to enjoy the game I play. And I think that things like Everspace are starting to show come through with that, just playing on normal difficulty and not threatening my monitors violently with physical violence every time that I die, because video game difficulty balancing just is great nowadays, he says with no sarcasm whatsoever. I think I got one other game. Why I said Deep Rock Galactic earlier is because I was playing Deep Rock Galactic Survivors. Oh my goodness. I love the Deep Rock Galactic universe. As I said in the last video, I'm kind of like a dwarf, dwarf core, as far as like what I always roleplay as, and in every game, whether it be Minecraft or D&D. But yeah, it's a cute universe. I never really got into the shooter of it. It's hard for me to play multiplayer games too. Just kind of introverted. I don't really find playing online with strangers as fulfilling as playing with like close-knit friends. And my close-knit friends that do play take it a little seriously. And it's just like Core Keeper, it's kind of just a lot to jump into. But Deep Rock Galactic Survivors, which is kind of like Vampire Survivors, like a top-down kind of I don't even know what it's called, but it's like Vampire Survivors, but in Deep Rock Galactic Universe. It's really cute. I'm enjoying it. I've unlocked all 4 classes so far. Pretty much almost done with the first location hazards 1 through 5, getting to the first gate, and I'm looking forward to seeing how much because I know that Deep Rock Galactic, the proper game, has a lot of late game, and so I'm looking forward to seeing what it has in store. But I think there's a couple of cute mechanics, like you can mine materials like in Deep Rock Galactic, and you mine through walls, and there's different environmental things and different things that you already know from the main game. And so it's cute when they do little crossovers like that and they don't like suck. And so they combine their main game with probably a lot of stolen elements from a different game, but it makes like a cute little crossover, and I get to be a dwarf, and I get to play Vampire Survivors, and I get to be a dwarf, and so it's like cute like that. But anyway, I digress. As you all know, I always try to impart a little lesson. Not that I'm trying to be preachy, not that I'm trying to be your parent or superior. I just like to share my own little experiences, and my experience from today is that of agreeing to disagree. See, we had a little debate in class, not like a scheduled debate, it wasn't spontaneous. But I did speech and debate in high school. See, look, there's the nebula. You see it? Oh, that's not a great shot. There it is, right to the right of the marker. And it's so just watch that blue or that black and red spot slowly get bigger. Anyway, we had a debate in class today. It was about absolutism in music versus program music. And it was scheduled, and there was a whole assignment about it, and we were going to debate. And people in the class can be a little, shall we say, rambunctious, passionate, if you will. Not necessarily always about the content in the class per se, but regardless, I think it was a good exercise in just having a friendly debate. And whether it be, no matter what you're debating about, it's what the conclusion that we reached at the end of this is it's not even like worth debating. And obviously that's not true for every single thing, but at the end we kind of just agreed to disagree, and we're like, yeah, we can all see, regardless of our actual perspectives, not just the perspectives that we were assigned, we can all see each other's perspectives, and we can all see like kind of a 50-50 viewpoint, and we just agreed like, no, this isn't really worth even debating, because it's so, there's not really a right answer. And I think for most things, obviously not all, there's obviously right and wrong in this world, but I think for a lot of the things that we talk about and stress about and worry about and post about and comment on and etc., we fail to see that middle ground, and we fail to see the other person's or people's or group, their perspective. And I think just today I wish to impart a small lesson of, just take a walk in your neighbor's shoes, in your enemy, your not even your enemy, just your opponent's shoes. And I know opponent is kind of like a charged word, but we all have opponents in life, whether it be a rival at work that is always on your butt, or a boss, or a classmate, or a parent, even a sibling, anything, a peer of any kind, or a mentor or a superior of any kind that just gets on your nerves and just seems to always have it out for you. And I think that Again, for most things, small things, it's worth just taking a look from their perspective, and gaining some insight into why maybe they feel like this. And ultimately, you don't have to convince them of anything. You just have to, be happy in your own body at the end of the day and be able to sleep when your head hits the pillow. So why get your blood pressure up over little things at the end of the day and reminisce on them? Because I could be bitter and upset at the rowdiness of the people in the class. But ultimately I enjoyed it. I took the positives aside. I took the lesson that I wish to impart in this video. I took the chance to kind of rehash some speech and debate speech and debate memories from high school, and I took the chance to just, not really kind of gain this little lesson that I wish to pass on to you now. That, for a lot of things, most things, a lot of things, definitely not everything, but more things than I think we allow ourselves grace on. It's not worth it to just die on that hill. And it's a lot simpler to just realize that the stakes are not life and death, and that regardless of what your opinion is, who you are, whatever, obviously there's so many charged opinions today, and there's so much division amongst, especially I feel like in my country, the United States, there's so much division amongst us, and I just feel like we have so much more in common than we have in different, and I just wish that on a lot of little things we could just be the same humans, that share the same human experience. And on the big things, that would make us a little bit more compassionate about, resolving those big things for the better of our fellow person, not just ourselves. Because, if we disagree on the little things, we are less inclined to liken ourselves to our fellow person. Anyway, that's my little, I guess, lesson for today. And I will be making more videos, I guess, as soon as I can. Again, this is a concert week, so maybe not. Anyway, I will see you whenever maybe is. Bye-bye.